I'm doing my first screencast here, and I'm gonna upload it, I think, to YouTube and send it to you that way. See how it goes. I have all the tabs open that I normally use to monitor different parts of the market and to do my technical analysis and fundamental understanding of the currency pairs that I'm looking at. The currency pair here that I'm looking at with some indicators that I like using is the New Zealand dollar to the US dollar, and this is a live chart. It's with tradingview.com. TradingView, and I have one of my ideas published on here. So basically what this is the New Zealand dollar day 4-hour chart. I mean 240 minutes, so that's 4 hours. Each candle here, open, close, the low point, the high point is 4 hours. So you look at different time frames, you look at different patterns, and you try to analyze where the movement will go next. So we had a large down move in July based on interest rate differentials between the US and New Zealand, and the equity markets and risk, how the equities and stock market are doing. And as you can see, just right now a new candle opened here for the 4-hour time frame, so you can see it counts down the current time frame you're on. But I've drawn a trend line in here. I've drawn the Fibonacci retracement levels using the tools for both this move and this move. So you can see levels more easily on here of support and resistance. So you go down and you can see a level of support and resistance here. So that would be the 50% level here of this larger down move, then the 61.8, which are key numbers in Fibonacci. So once it goes through there, then it'll come back down to meet that eventually. So that's what happened here. And for this smaller move, we have just retraced only to the 38.2. So normally you should have a retracement of at least 50%. So that's why I'm looking for this pair to go down now. And there's a bigger reason for why it should move down, and I'll show you that in a minute. We have other charts that I can look at in comparison just to analyze the market even more. This is a US dollar compared to Japanese yen on the 4-hour chart, with a moving average in the middle and Bollinger Band at the top. So I keep that open so I can just monitor other currency pairs that might interest me, that might affect this trade. As you can see, it's moving down here right as we speak. I keep open the economic calendar from Daily FX, which will give us news releases. You have to be aware of events that might happen that will affect the price movements. There's big effects when you have a news release, a new, data release that's released. So like tonight, each month, there's a release in the United States called change in non-farm payrolls. That's how many jobs, non-farm jobs, were added each month. So you can see the relevance is very high. Those are things to pay attention to. So it's August 5th here. And next week, for my trade, there's also an event on Wednesday or Thursday that's very important. You can see here New Zealand dollar interest rate decision, because currencies will move in comparison to their data, positive or negative, and in comparison to stock markets, positive or negative, and in comparison to interest rates, which country has the higher interest rate or lower interest rate. I also keep open CNBC to just listen to how the markets are doing, and some of the financial analysts on there that will. And then lastly, I'll keep my trading station open. So you need to have a broker. My broker is FXCM, and I have my charts open, and I have my social networking here, which I can chat to other traders here as I'm trading, and they will give analysis as well and what they think on different time frames. But of course, a lot of them are new traders or expert traders, and you just have to know who to listen to. As you can see, this person who's more of a seasoned trader said the rate cut next week will affect the price pretty soon. So that's really the main pillars of how to understand price movements. You can see here too, on a larger time frame, on the New Zealand dollar, we have a head and shoulders, shoulder, shoulder, and head. And normally when you have that configuration, you're going to have a period of selling here to complete the other shoulder. That's why you can see this red triangle. That means I have sold right there, and we'll see how it works out. My idea is here, which I've highlighted the head and shoulders pattern, and then the bars since my idea, you can see, are here. So I sold here, and we should have a confirmation on what happens on this in the next 2 or 3 days. Each candle here is a day. So 3 days since I gave this technical analysis, and we'll see what happens. Another big thing is risk management. So how large your account is and how much you can lose until you have lost all your money, and where you should put your take profit points and where you should put your stop loss. So like on a closer view of New Zealand dollar, if I sold here, noticing that this was the right shoulder, then I would want to put my stop loss somewhere up here, so that if it continues up against me, that I will be taken out of the position with a smaller loss, and then try to pick a level of support down here that I will be able to take my profit. So those are the fundamentals. The only other thing that I suggest you look at for some basic education is called babypips.com. Go there, and they'll tell you all the same things fundamentally that I have told you right now. But you can see that there's a lot of indicators and a lot of understanding here that you can utilize to create higher probability trades, and to look at different time frames, to time things really well, and to be patient, and also to manage your risk, because after 10 years trading, I know that risk management is very important, so that when you're right, you can really take advantage of when you're right, and when you're wrong, you can stop your losses before they get too great. Okay, let me know your questions, and we'll just keep going like this if it works out. Everyone else who I may be screencasting to, just let me know your questions, maybe on YouTube where I post this, or email me in the comment section. I'll put my email, and we'll try to set up a good way of education.